Item 7, that I think is in the hands of Cllr Les Ford.
Yes, Chairman. I'd like to formally move resolutions 2.1, A, B and C. And just call for a seconder, and then I'd like to say a few words to advise members for the debate.
Is that seconded?
Second, Chairman, and reserve the right to speak.
All right, thank you.
Right, members, the outturn, as set out in Table 1, shows that for the past year we managed to underspend our budget by 3.4 million. This is an extremely good performance for which we should thank our staff, as it represents a great deal of hard work on their part for the benefit of all our citizens. As a result, net savings of 32.8 million were consolidated, and adding the surplus made, we saved 36.2 million in the course of the year from the inherited base budgets. I will reiterate, an extremely good performance. All, however, is not sweetness and light, as demonstrated by the underlying departmental overspend of 3.6 million and the 2.1 million carry forward. This 5.1 million operational pressure is 2.4% of budget, which has to be addressed in this coming year. Part of this is the continuation, of course, of some transitional issues, exemplified by our IT programme, where in some departments we are still operating with 4 different software programmes, which is hardly of benefit to our effectiveness. But this is being tackled in the current programme. Our provision for contingencies and transitional costs proved to be adequate, and in the case of our voluntary redundancy programme, changes from some personal choices open to retirees actually reduced the costs borne by us. Capital financing charges came in under budget, primarily because we utilised our cash in hand to defer taking out long-term loans. Our closing long-term loans were 142 million against our financing requirement of 191 million, so we can be using 50 million fairly effectively. We completed an exercise during the year which restored some 1.7 million from earmarked reserves to the general reserves, and new appropriations to earmarked reserves of 1.6 million, giving the net outturn that I've mentioned. In 2B, we are asking Council to formally approve the use of capital receipts to fund 6.493 million of capitalised redundancy and actuarial strain costs. The effect of this is to reduce our capital receipts and increase our general reserves. This movement provides us with greater management flexibility. Taking the above move into account, this will leave us with general reserves of 19.492 million. This is only 500,000 below our opening position, despite having undertaken a major redundancy exercise during the year. And this position leaves us well placed to address the uncertain future as the government moves to address the underlying debt crisis inherited from the previous administration. Council is also asked to approve in 2C an extension of last year's capital budget to recognise a 1.5 million allocation for Gypsy and Traveller site. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Ford. Any speakers to this item? If not, members, are you happy to approve that? All in favour? Against? That is carried. Thank you.